Nominated in our Local Heroes competition.
Yes, as part of ITV1's Britain on the Move campaign, we're looking for those who really make a difference to their community, and Roger Ingham fits the bill.
Yes, he certainly does. He's the second of 10 nominees, and you will get your chance to vote for the winner in the coming weeks.
So let's meet Roger, who's from Skipton. He's a sportsman, a charity fundraiser, and many say he's got a heart of gold, as Will Venters found out.
Roger's coaching skills keep these youngsters fit and at the top of their sport. He's spent 30 years giving his time for free. Hundreds of local families say he's an inspiration who deserves his Local Hero nomination.
What a nice, pleasant surprise. I said to the lady, that rang me up, I said, hey, that's a nice surprise, thank you very much. Yeah. I said, I look forward to that.
Roger's been a keen sportsman, competing in running, boxing, athletics and rugby events. He holds office in many sports clubs and he's hailed for his perception in spotting talented youngsters who are in need of his support.
I'm always pleased when they win a title or of any description, but basically it's all about levels, and I've always said, well, whenever I run football at rugby, I'll take worst in the world as long as I get the best shot.
He's coached my dad, he used to be a sprinter, and my grandma loves him to bits. She thinks he's a great man, she really likes him. And I know he's helped my brother, my sister and my little sister, and they've become a lot more sporty because of him.
I think Roger makes his lessons quite fun and he's very enthusiastic.
I'm British fell running champion.
I'm English fell running champion.
I'm England international fell running representee.
And Roger got us where we are today.
He puts so much effort into his work. He's the best coach there is, and he got me a gold in the Indoor Athletics Championships, so vote for Roger.
His spare time is spent organising a mini-Olympics on the estate where he was born and bred and raising hundreds of thousands of pounds for charity. Roger's also in demand as a commentator at many events, including the Braemar Games, where he mingles with the royals. And for the last 40 years he's filed weekly reports for the local paper, all unpaid.
Roger's a great giver to the Craven community and the wider Dales. He's done an awful lot of work, voluntary work, on the sporting front and fundraising. He's a well-known character throughout the Dales and Skipton area, and he puts in an awful lot of his own time.
I even get letters out post, Roger the Dodger, Mr. Sport, Skipton, no surname, no address, and they land at my door.
Well done, Roger. What a man. You're going to be a tough act to follow for our other local heroes. Well, if you are inspired to volunteer your time to help others, like Roger, then find
Hello there and welcome to Britain on the Move, the ITV1 campaign to improve our health and make our communities a better place to live in. Well, last year we mobilised hundreds of thousands of people at dozens of events across the country to get Britain back on the road to fitness. And this year it's not just about helping yourself, you can help other people as well. So we've been looking for our local heroes, the folk who give tirelessly of their time and energy. And tonight we meet the 4 finalists that you, the viewers, have chosen from hundreds of nominations. There they are. They're lined up in our green room, Roger, Alan, Pam and Colin. And we'll have more from the Fab Four in just a moment after we've met our judges. And facing up to the difficult task of picking the winner are Chris Chittell, Catherine Mitten and Jane Tomlinson. Well, Chris, of course, is Emmerdale's Eric Pollard, but did you know that he's a keen marathon runner and a charity fundraiser? Catherine won a bronze medal for table tennis at last year's Paralympic Games in Athens, and Jane has now raised a fantastic £1 million for charity after her own diagnosis with cancer. Well, Chris, first of all, you did the marathon 2 days ago. Have you recovered yet?
Recovered, yes, and it was my worst. I normally meet my stunt double after the first mile, but he wasn't there, so I had to run it all on my own.
And what time did you do?
11 hours 32.
That's rubbish. Go on, what did you really do?
I should have done it at 4, but I did 4:44.
Well done. Well, Catherine, we've got your bronze medal here from the Paralympics last year. What's next for you?
Well, I'm hoping to go to the European Championships in September, and then, if all goes well, I'm aiming to go to Beijing in 2008.
And Jane, you had a well-deserved rest this year from the marathon, didn't you?
Yeah, we went round to some friends, sat at theirs, and they made us bacon and sausage butties to sit at 9:15 waiting for the start of the marathon. It is fantastic view.
I think well deserved after all your efforts in previous years. Now you three have got a very difficult task ahead of you this evening, and I think we also ought to let you know that the winner of tonight's prize actually gets £2,000 for the project of their choice, and the runners-up all get £500 each. So let's meet our first finalist, whose skill at spotting young sporting talent has helped him through to the final tonight. Roger Ingham certainly fits the bill in our search for those who really make a difference to their community. So let's meet Roger, who's from Skipton. He's a sportsman, a charity fundraiser, and many say he's got a heart of gold, as Will Venters found out.
Roger's coaching skills keep these youngsters fit and at the top of their sport. He's spent 30 years giving his time for free. Hundreds of local families say he's an inspiration who deserves his local hero nomination.
He's coached my dad, he used to be a sprinter, and my grandma loves him to bits. She thinks he's a great man, she really likes him. And I know he's helped my brother, my sister and my little sister, and they've become a lot more sporty because of him.
I think Roger makes his lessons quite fun and he's very enthusiastic.
His spare time is spent organising a mini Olympics on the estate where he was born and bred, and raising hundreds of thousands of pounds for charity.
He puts so much effort into his work. He's the best coach there is, and he got me a gold in the Indoor Athletics Championships, so vote for Roger.
Well, Roger is here with me now. Roger, you've certainly got a lot of support back home. Are you surprised to find yourself here this evening?
It comes as a pleasant surprise, like, but it pleased, and I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank everybody who voted for us.
Well, you've certainly got a lot of support, and now it's up to you to impress our three judges. So each of them is going to ask you a question. Let's get Chris with his question first of all.
Well, that was quite admirable, what we've just seen. But, Roger, what do you get out of it?
Well, obviously I like to see sport and community thriving, but there are a lot of situations. I'm not right good. I've been worked for council for all them years. I tried to say no, but make it sound like yes or whatever. So I'm not right good at saying no. If I don't go looking for it, it comes my way.
So you're the man that can't say no.
But one thing I do, when I don't. I class, even though I've made hundreds of thousands of pounds for all sorts of charities, I don't class any of my community work as charity work, because charity work is my main substance, because I just feel privileged being up and running and doing what I, in normal life, if you like.
Well, we're going to have to let Catherine get in with her question now. Right. So, Catherine, your question.
Roger, what are your goals and ambitions for the future?
Get a private secretary and an housekeeper.
Those are what you need. Well, Jane?
A burglar broke into my... I never get a chance to do what you say at home. A burglar broke into my house the other week to dial 999 for fire brigade to help find his way out.
Well, Jane's got a question for you now.
You spend so much time, helping others. Where do you get your endurance and stamina from, because you do a lot of work with so many young people?
Well, I get 1 day's holiday and I won't miss that for that's Rugby League Cup final. In fact, I owe my life to that, because that's where my mother and father met all them years ago when Keithley were there in 1937. But by that 1 day, the reason I've had time, because I don't have time for all else, bar work, of course.
Well, Roger, we're out of time now on that one, but I know you could talk all night. It's been lovely to meet you, and I know the judges agree with me as well. Thanks very much, Roger, our first finalist tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Now, the potentially fatal MRSA bug is in the news almost every day, and sadly, our second finalist has spent 15 years fighting it. Both his legs had to be amputated to save his life, but Alan Raymond, who's from Scunthorpe, has continued to lead a full and active life and has dedicated himself to helping others. Michelle G has Alan's story.
Alan Raymond is a giant amongst men. Despite being crippled by MRSA and becoming a double amputee, he lives life to the full. Alan is now training hard for a 500-kilometre charity bike ride in Vietnam. Alan has lost count of the tens of thousands of pounds he's raised for charity. With best friend Tony Simpson, he's completed the London Marathon, the Great North Run, raised money for his local church in Lincolnshire and carried the Olympic torch.
We have two sayings. One of the sayings is for the London Marathon, we're 26 mile, 2 men and 1 pair of trainers. And the other saying is, whatever we do, it's not really bad for a big fat old fella and a lad with no legs.
Well, at one point we didn't think he was going to make it, but since he's had his legs amputated, just no stopping him.
The unstoppable Alan Raymond here, and here he is in the studio.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice to have you with us. Now, you're in training for the bike ride to Vietnam. Is that hard work?
It is, yeah. We're going to trek 300 miles over Vietnam and Cambodia on the 3rd of November. It's going to be a big test for the full team, especially for myself. I'm going to be the first person in a wheelchair in the world to attempt it, and I physically know I will do it.
Good for you, good for you. Well, our 3 judges each have a question for you tonight. First of all, we'll start with Chris.
Now, obviously, you were compensated for from contracting this dreadful disease, so therefore all you have to do every day is train as much as you can before you embark upon this arduous journey. Is that correct?
That's not correct, no.
Not correct.
I actually work 44 hours a week, work at my local hospital in Scunthorpe. I work for Asda in Scunthorpe. I DJ locally in Crowell, where I'm from, near Scunthorpe. So that takes an awful lot of my time up. Then I train 4 days a week at the local gym in Scunthorpe at the college. I get out in my adapted wheelchair as much as I can. I've had a bit of a lifestyle change. I don't go out drinking as much, and I now train as much as I can.
But you weren't compensated?
No.
So you have to do all that as well as training?
He has to work hard
That's
as
tremendous.
well. Catherine, what would you like to ask Alan?
Alan, after you've done your bike ride, what are your plans for the future?
Really, I'll take any challenge up, really. I've only been in a chair since 98, 99, so it's still a learning curve for myself. I want to do as much as I can. I'd like to experience everything I can. I had 12 years of pain, and I'm making up a lot of time. I'm on lads' holidays, because I could never go before, because I was in hospital all the time. So I'm cramming everything into such a small space now.
Living life to the full.
I'm living it, but I'm loving it, I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying training, I'm enjoying working. And life's just, it couldn't be any better at the moment. It's a lot 100% better than it has been in the past.
Jane?
Well, you're going down the sort of endurance route. I've been down as well, you know, long distance cycle rides and that. Where do you get your stamina from, and, you know, how do you go about building up that?
I'm actually pushed by a lot of people. A lot of people supported me when I needed it. I'm known as I am a big joker. I'm absolutely a fruitcake when it comes down to it. But,
well, I'll see you at Salford or London Try either this year or next year then.
Alan, thanks very much indeed for coming to tell us all about that tonight. That's Alan, our second finalist. Well, now to our third finalist, a mum and volunteer who's progressed from washing rugby kit to becoming the driving force behind a near £1 million renovation of her local miners' welfare club. Pam Summeril has dedicated 15 years of her life to making her home village of Rossington in Doncaster a better place. Here's Rachel Rusk with Pam's story.
Rossington Miners' Welfare Club was set up 80 years ago when the village was a close-knit and thriving mining community. As pits closed across the country, many welfares slid into decline, but Rossington was rescued by a team of dedicated volunteers led by Pam Summeril.
Been working with Pam now for over 2 years. I just feel it's about time somebody got recognised for all their hard work and determination, and there's nobody more appropriate than Pam who deserves the award.
Pam is chairwoman, secretary, general motivator and organiser at the welfare, which is used by thousands of local residents. She also line manages the learning centre.
Pam wanted to take the club forward. She has got a drive, she has got a vision of where she wants the community to be involved, not only with the club itself but with each other.
Well, we'll be meeting Pam in a moment after the break, and in part 2, find out how you can vote for one of tonight's finalists and give them an extra £1,000 for their cause. See you in a minute. Hello again and welcome back to our Britain on the Move programme to find the region's local heroes. There they are, 3 of our 4 finalists, Roger, Alan and Colin, and their supporters are all waiting in the green room. Now, our other finalist, Pam, is here with us in the studio. Now, just before the break, we saw the fantastic work at Rossington Miners Welfare in Doncaster. So, judges, you're all going to ask a question of Pam about what she does. So, Jane, do you want to go first this time?
You know, it must take up so much of your time. And what sort of facilities is it that you've actually brought to Doncaster?
Well, we're just having a new facility built for the community. It's just under £1 million that we got funding for from Sports England, CRT, SRB.
And what sort of facilities are going to be available?
Well, it's for changing facilities for the rugby, cricket, football, bowls, junior boys, junior girls football. It's for the whole of the community, really.
Fantastic.
OK. Chris, you got a question?
Now, I don't want to suggest anything improper here. You're a good-looking lady, right? But
it's a flirt.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Everywhere, I agree.
He's always
That's right.
flirting.
And so, rugby players in general, even league players, quite good-looking fellas. There's no ulterior motive for washing all those dirty things. And what's your drive? What do you do it for,
Washing
really?
the dirty rugby strips. No, it's for the community, really. I mean, as I said, when I started, it was because my husband played rugby. Then I had 2 sons, so I followed them, and I either went with them or I stayed at home to be a rugby widow.
Yeah.
So it just led on from there, washing the rugby strips, making the sandwiches. Then they needed a secretary, so Pam put her hand up. It's like Colin said, you don't start out to do these jobs, but they need doing at the end of the day, and so you end up doing it.
Another mug.
A very hard-working one, Catherine.
Yeah.
Well, what are your plans for the future? Have you got any unfulfilled ambitions?
Well, it's just to see Rossington come back on the map, really. As a girl, I remember it fondly, you know, whereas the hub of the village was the Rossington Miners Welfare. Then it went on a decline, and obviously with the miners' strike and everything, you know, it went down. But I can see it's on its way up again now, and all the kids, hopefully, will start to come back.
You're building on the future of Rossington and putting the heart back in the community.
Yeah, and I think that's what it needs.
Pam,
everybody working together.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, well, let's move on now. Last but not least, to our 4th finalist, Colin Woodford from Grimsby, who has cerebral palsy. Now, Colin has taken redundancy from work to dedicate his life to helping youngsters with disabilities. For 9 years, Colin has been running one of the most successful disability sports clubs in the country, and Faye Barker went to meet him.
For years, sport has been a key part of Colin Woodford's life, and now he dedicates his time to giving disabled youngsters the opportunity to get involved in anything from table tennis to ice skating, opportunities he knows can change their lives. 9 years ago, Colin set up the North East Lincolnshire Disability Sports Forum, and with a team of other volunteers, he's turned it into one of the UK's top disability sports clubs.
It's great to come here and play different sports. Before I came here, I didn't used to play sport or anything, and then as soon as I came here, I met loads of new people. Everyone had the same kind of disabilities. It just gave me a chance to start playing my sport and doing something that I could do by myself.
I think Colin it's really worthy of this award for all the effort that he's put into the forum.
Colin, what was the medal that you were holding up there?
That was when I completed the Humber Marathon in 1989. I finished it before 1990. It actually took 2 days and 3 hours. I did 11 miles on the first day, 9 miles on the second, and I completed with the other runners, which took me just over 3 hours on the third day for the final 6 miles, 200 and so many yards.
Well done to you, well done to you. Well, we've got some questions now from our judges. Jane's going to ask first.
What keeps you going? What keeps you motivated and, you know, carrying on doing what you're doing?
Just seeing the improvement in the children the amount their confidence has increased is amazing. When I go into mainstream school with a number of wheelchair users, and when I first went in, they were not included really in sport. They were at the sidelines, and now I go in and give them specialist coaching. And
so does what you do help them integrate into the community altogether?
Yes, I mean, Leanna was in that film. There is going to Connecticut later in the year for the World Cerebral Palsy Table Tennis Championships with myself. Another young lad, Robert, is going to the Ponds Forge at the weekend. He's 13, he's competing in the National Senior Bocce Championships. It's awareness training for the able-bodied as well as I go into the school. It's just that they happen to use a wheelchair, but that's their legs.
Can I let Chris ask his question now?
Until I saw that footage, I was looking for where your drive was, but I could see your drive on there because you became alive with all those amazing people. It's a tremendous area to achieve greatness. Just explain to me.
Well, I'm happier with a bat in my hand than in the studio here, but it's just, I don't know. I've travelled to different countries with sport, and I wanted there to be opportunities for the young children, especially now. I mean, we have all disabilities in our group, but with the ones with physical disabilities tend to go into mainstream schools now, and they tend to be ignored for PE. So, and they can get so much out of it.
I agree with you.
I think one lady who will very much empathise with what you're doing is Catherine, table tennis champion.
Yes. When I was a late starter at sport as well, I know exactly what you mean. So what is there left for you to do, Colin? What's your future ambitions?
Well, I mean, our club at the moment has got about 160 members, so it's growing all the time. I mean, we encourage other people to join, but there's about 100 with disabilities. And because I do it on my sticks, other people say, I can't walk well, you can walk with me for so long, and hopefully, you know, that's an inspiration to them. And I mean, obviously, I won the World Cerebral Palsy table tennis title in 1997. I lost it to Mark Palmer in 2001, so I want to win it back again.
That's a big ambition. Colin, well done. It's non-stop for you, obviously, but thank you very much, and it's good to have you with us tonight.
Thank you.
OK, now it's over to the judges to make their decision. It's nail-biting stuff, and while we find out how the Britain on the Move campaign will take shape this summer.
I'm Karen Churches, and I'm here to help you get fit, have fun and make a difference. From the end of April, I'll be leading the Kellogg's Cornflakes Great Walk. From John O'Groats through Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales, on to Land's End. With your help, we can make the Great Walk one of the biggest charity fundraising events of 2005. Over the last couple of years, I've had the opportunity to walk with hundreds of men and women on various expeditions around the world. Over half of the UK population is now overweight, simply because we're eating more and exercising less. It doesn't matter if you take part in the Great Walk as part of your health and fitness regime, or whether you want to support a friend or family member, or even if you see it as a great way to raise money for your favourite charity. It doesn't matter what motivates you. What's important is that you take part, and that through your efforts, communities throughout the UK and Ireland get to benefit. Whatever your age or fitness level, I seriously hope that you will join me on the Kellogg's Cornflakes Great Walk. Remember, it's not a race, it's about getting active, helping others, but most of all, it's about having fun. So this is your chance to step out and make a difference.
Well, find out how you can walk your way to health and vitality just like Karen by joining the Kellogg's Cornflakes Great Walk 2005. Just visit itv.com/Britain on the Move or call free phone 08000 96 10 10. And you can also find out how to get hold of one of these. It's a stepometer. OK, well, the big wait's over, and I think, Chris, you're going to do the honours. Could you tell us who our winner is tonight?
Yes, and it would be crass of me to say that it has been exceedingly difficult. But we have, after much deliberation, decided that it should be Roger.
Roger, congratulations. Well done, Roger.
Well done, all of you.
Well done to everybody. Roger, come over here. Do join us over on the main studio, and it's my pleasure to say congratulations. Here's your cheque for £2,000 to give to the project of your choice. And of course, there's £500 for each of you to do the same. Roger, how do you feel?
Well, delighted.
Absolutely delighted, and well deserved to everybody.
It's a lot of coffee mornings and cake stalls, isn't it?
It's been a pleasure to meet everybody tonight, but before we go, here's the phone number for you to decide who should get an extra £1,000 in cash. Now, this is the prize decided by you, our viewers. You can give it to any one of our 4 finalists that you've seen here tonight. Do you want Roger, Alan, Pam or Colin to get an extra £1,000 for their favourite cause? Well, to register your vote, call 08000 96 1010 or visit our website itv.com/Britain on the Move. The lines are open till midnight tonight. The calls are free, and Duncan and I will reveal the viewers' winners tomorrow on Calendar. But that's just about every bit of tonight from Britain on the Move. We've had a great evening. Hope you've all enjoyed it. Congratulations to Roger and to everybody who's taken part. But from all of us here,
Well done, guys.
good night. Good night.
Thank you.